Here with a Nolan Xavier Wells update.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good evening. And good morning. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Yes, happy Friday. Oh my God. Oh my God. Thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Oh my God. Is anybody else feeling that? Like, does anybody feel that same way? Am I the only one who feels that way? I am just so thankful that it's Friday. I don't know why. I don't know why. Just this week was a long week for me. I don't know why it was a long week. It was just a long week. You know what I'm saying? We still got through it, but it's now Friday.
Whoa, I accidentally hit a button. What the hell?
What was that? That was weird. That was a little weird.
Welcome to the show.
What the hell? Okay, thank God it's Friday. That's what I was trying to hit the button, but everything's tripping. Happy Friday to all y'all. Okay, why did I sound like I had like the larynx thing? You know what I mean? I have the speaker up against the microphone up against, like I've been smoking for like 30,000 years.
Sounded like this.
You know what I mean? Anybody? Okay. Anyway, hopefully you guys are doing well out there. I hope this show finds you in great spirits, because another day above the dirt is always a blessing. Let's not forget that. Please do not forget that. Even if today is a bad day, just remember, tomorrow will be better. It can only go up from there. Okay? And every minute is an opportunity to turn everything around. So make sure, okay? Make sure you remember that too. But before we get into everything, we got some Nolan Wells stuff that we got to talk about. Please do me a solid. Hit that like button down below. Crush it, do it, do. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms. Please hit that follow button. Follow. Subscribe to my YouTube channel right here on my YouTube channel. Subscribe, dagnabbit. Okay? Subscribe. Go and subscribe to my second channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Subscribe over there as well. Okay, it's on YouTube as well. Hit that notification bell on both channels so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because honestly, it's random. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. And, of course, check out
PascalMerch.com. PascalMerch.com. It's weird. Hello. It doesn't matter what I say. It's just the same tone the entire doggone time. That's terrible.
Anyway, that's terrible. All right. I'm sorry. I will never subject you guys to that ever again. Don't you dare. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. I got you. All right. I'll never do that again.
Sorry, I lied.
Anyway, make sure you're following, subscribing. Check out PascalMerch.com. We got some really great stuff over there, PascalMerch.com. Okay, guys, we got to get straight into this. We got some stuff to talk about. Happy Friday. Let me just say this. Happy Friday to every single last one of y'all. Happiest of Fridays. I don't know what you guys are doing this weekend. If you're going to go, I don't know, watch a game or barbecue out in the backyard or have a cookout or you know, I don't know. I don't know what you guys call it. You know what I mean? It could be, you know, for white people, it's a barbecue or a grill, like grilling out in the back. Or and with black people, it's either having a cookout or you grilling. So however you do it, okay, hopefully you're enjoying your time outside in the sun, enjoying this hot summer heat, okay? It's crazy out there. It's hot as Satan's balls outside. Sorry. I know that's a visual no one wanted to have, okay? But thinking about the devil's dingleberries. But here's the thing. See, this whole thing's tripping. Every time I hit a button, okay. We're just gonna let it be. Okay? We're just gonna let it be. But I'm hoping that you guys are enjoying your Friday and that your weekend is going to be filled with nothing but happy good times. All right? I don't know. Are you guys gonna go see the Odyssey movie? Yeah, I mean, you may be staying inside, but you could still go inside a movie theater and check out that movie. Apparently, I've been hearing some really good things about that movie. I mean, besides the casting issues, all right? Everyone's tripping about this doggone casting issue. And I got to be honest, who cares? Is the movie good? You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, God, how dare they use Helen of Troy? Or, you know, the face that launched 1,000 ships. How dare they use a face covered in chocolate? How dare they? Oh, and then let's not forget, how dare they use a trans man to play a man in a Greek book? How dare they? Elliot, whatever their last name is. Elliot Page. I forgot. How dare they? I don't care if it's a good if it's good, it's good. You remember back in the day? Does anybody remember? Okay, just rock with me for a second. You remember back in the day they used to do mixed casting in mixed race casting in Shakespeare plays? Where's the upset about that? Why weren't people in a tizzy back in the day when you had Kenneth Branagh having, black actors, perform in Shakespeare plays? And I'm not talking about Othello. I don't think he's ever touched Othello, but you know what I'm saying. They'd be like, oh, Hamlet, oh, and they have, creeps in this petty pace from day to day, stuff like that. To be or not to be, who cares? Is the story and the freaking movie good? Is the acting good? It's always selective outrage. Who gives a about it? You know what I'm saying? Okay, it's like, okay, so just so you know, and don't worry, we're going to get into this stuff. This is like a little bit of a warm up, getting you guys and letting you guys know that, you I'm still waiting for you guys to get some of the notification that I'm on and all that crap, okay? Just saying that out loud, all right? But everyone's tripping about this movie for what? Like, I don't know if you guys remember the movie Amadeus. Okay, it's old movie about Wolfgang, Mozart, and Salieri, another composer that apparently it was a play originally and they turned it into a movie, and it's all about the guy basically saying, like, Salieri basically saying, I'm going to, destroy and I'm going to be the one who takes the life of Mozart, right? I am the one who did it. I caused his demise, right? In this play and in this movie, right? And now they turned it into a series that was on Star on Stars. It was a TV show. And people were freaking the F out about the casting. Who cares? Because the guy who ended up playing Mozart was Asian, and people just lost their minds about it. And I'm like, well, it's actors acting. They actually had opera singers that were black that were performing. There were other actors in the show that were black as well, that were just playing parts in the actual show. Who cares? Right? And I'm talking about the series, because they just came out with a series called Amadeus on Stars. I just watched it, literally. Okay? For those who don't know, I'm quite a fan of good music. I have quite the, what's the word? Collection of good music of all kinds. I mean, I got everything from opera to classical to jazz to rap to pop to, you know what I mean? I love music, so I listen to a lot of different things. And Mozart slaps. I'm sorry. I know that sounds weird to say out loud. That sounds really nerdy of me, okay? It's nerdy. I don't care, okay? I like good music. And if it gets me, it's good, right? So I watched that show, and it was a mixed race cast. People were tripping about that. That's one of the reasons why it got such a low rating as far as the show went. For me, I'm like, it was all right. The movie's better, with all due respect, but it had nothing to do with the fact that there was mixed race casting. I don't care. If the story is good and the actors are the right actors to take the part, then give them the mother-loving part. So here's the thing. When it comes to this whole Christopher Nolan Odyssey, and people are all up in arms about the casting of these two particular people in the movie that are only in the movie, from what I've understood, for like 5 minutes. One of them maybe 3. It's like, is the acting good? And does it help catapult the story forward to where it needs to go? If it does that, then hey, there shouldn't even be a problem. Who cares? Who cares? Because all the people that are hardcore, realists or historians, they like to think that they're historians. They're wearing their glasses. They're like, those imaginary glasses they're pushing up on the bridge of their nose. Well, actually, if you look at back in the day, they were all Greek. So they were Caucasian of the Caucasus Mountains. There's no way Helen of Troy was black. Who cares? Who cares? Some people are like, how dare they use Lupita Nyong'o as Helen? She fine as hell. What's wrong with it, baby? Damn. dude, she's beautiful. Who cares? Who cares? Isn't a beauty in the eye of the beholder? You know what I mean? Some people go, damn that Kim Kardashian is just one fine egg. You know what I mean? And I'm like, meh. You see what I'm saying? Meh. I know some people would fight me in the chat, being like, "How dare you? That's a handsome woman right there." I don't see it. She's just Kim K. You see what I'm saying? Some people sit there and say, Angelina Jolie. Drop dead gorgeous. That's what some people say. But then some other people be like, nah, she cool. It's funny because just the other day, I rewatched Troy. Yes, I did. You know the piece of trash, huge, epic, cinematic masterpiece. It's trash. It's trash. Okay, it's trash. But I sat through and watched it again. Okay, and yeah, everybody's white. Not one drop. Not even one drop. Not even a tiny drop of melanin in no one's skin in that entire movie. All of them Caucasian. What? That's fine. You had Brad Pitt and them all up in it, right? Movie was terrible. But I sat through it just to see, because I was like, man, what made this movie so bad? Oh, I remember. It's the acting. Yeah, the acting's terrible. Terrible. And there's some legendary actors in that movie. And that movie's terrible. It's dog water. And they're all white. So I'm just letting you know, not a problem. I care about the acting. I care about if it's good, if the movie is good. They spent millions of dollars in that huge, epic piece. I mean, there's massive, massive landscapes, massive shots, massive movie. They wasted all that money. I feel like all that money was thrown on the screen, but not towards the actual actors. Reason why I'm bringing this up is because it doesn't matter about the race. It matters about the skill. It matters about the storytellers that are coming together making the actual movie. And people are tripping about the fact that Odyssey has a few people in the movie that may not be cast or actually real during that time playing those parts. To me, it doesn't matter. To me, it matters about the acting and the storytelling. Now, I'm going to tell you this. If the casting is absolute trash and the acting is bad, then yeah, I'm going to be like, yo, because I'm looking forward to seeing The Odyssey. I can't wait to see it. But if it's trash, I'll tell you it's trash. But it won't be because Lupita Nyong'o or Elliot Page are in the movie. It'll be because the acting is trash. Wow, they really put, what's his name? Travis Scott in this mother-loving movie. Wow, it's that was some bad acting. Or whatever it is. But I haven't seen the movie yet, so I can't say anything. But there's a lot of people that are already arms folded as they're walking into the damn theater going, I already hate it. And it hasn't even started yet. You know what I'm saying? They already hate the theater that they're walking into. They already hate the popcorn that's been popped and, you know, the butter that's slowly soaking into the popcorn that they just bought, which is obviously overpriced as well. That's a whole other conversation in itself. It's like, damn, $15 for a large popcorn? Damn! Hell is wrong with you? But they're already mad. It's not because of the price of the ticket, nor the price of the freaking snacks. They're just mad at the fact that these people are casted in this damn movie. It's dumb. It's dumb, I say. It's dumb. What I would love for them to do is go back, check out Troy again, and see how you feel. They're all white. My God, Orlando Bloom, how does he have a career? Orlando Bloom. How? I didn't mean to hit that either. This is crazy. Orlando Bloom. How does that man have a career? How? Sorry. Just saying. I just rewatched the movie because I was like, let me get a little warmed up, you know what I mean? You know, and let me just see the difference. Epic movie. Huge blockbuster movie. It definitely fell apart and it did make money, but it's really bad. And then Brad Pitt. Oh my God. Brad freaking Pitt, of all people, couldn't save that movie. You know what I'm saying? Movie's bad. Movie's really bad. All the people are cast, as far as I know, Caucasian. And that still was a trashy, mother-loving movie. So, I've heard great things about the movie. I've heard not so many great things about the movie, but I will say this. I am looking forward to seeing it myself. And I think that's the thing, too. People are so busy hearing what other people say in social media that they automatically think that that's the truth, that that is scripture. Oh, it's trash because those people are in it. Let's see the movie first. And then if it is that they're so bad that they completely take you out of the movie that badly, then yeah, that is on Christopher Nolan's. That's on Christopher Nolan. That's his fault. You see what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? But this movie, shoot, nobody was Greek. Not one person is Greek in that damn movie. Not one of them. Not one of them. So shouldn't you just be mad at the whole entire freaking cast for not one of them, not one drop of Greek blood in them? But here's the other thing too. Isn't there a Greek basketball player who happens to be African Greek? Isn't there? The dude with a whole bunch of like vowels and consonants as a last name, all smashed into one. Who's the Greek dude? You know who I'm talking about. All you basketball fans. Isn't there a Greek basketball player? I forgot his name. Giannis. Thank you. I guess it's not a whole lot. Whoops. I thought he had like a Galifianakis kind of thing. You know what I mean? Something weird with a whole bunch of vowels and consonants back to back. Like, how is a Z, K, Y, and an X all next to each other in one last name? Okay, how do you pronounce that? Yeah, Giannis. It sounds simple, but ain't he black? There it is. Thank you. I don't know how to pronounce that name, that last name. Come on now. I don't know. Antentem kumpu. I can't. You know what I mean? Why does it sound like a drum set being thrown down, like the sound of a drum set being thrown down a flight of stairs? You know what I'm saying? Does that not sound like his last name kind of sound like a drum set being thrown down a flight of stairs? Nobody? Okay, I guess I'm the only one. But he black. Greek. He black Greek. He Greek black. Come on, everybody. No, we ain't roasting nobody. I was just saying his last name is wild. That's all. I was like, I thought it was like a I don't know. Okay. Just saying. And damn was Brad Pitt. One of the worst acting jobs Brad Pitt has ever done. And don't get me started with Orlando Bloom. My God. Why did they give him that movie? Why? Because he made it worse. And then Brad Pitt was just robotic and just, I don't know, Brad Pitt just not even trying. He was just phoning it in. Like Marlon Brando from The Island of Dr. Moreau. You know what I'm saying? You film freaks, you film fans are going to know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay? Okay? But yeah, Antentembentenkombompo is Greek black. And everybody losing their damn mind about Lupita, who's absolutely just gorgeous, beautiful woman, right? So again, it'd be fun to have if you had a movie watching reaction channel. You're so funny, Pascal. Thank you, SoCal Gal. I appreciate that. I've thought about doing movie reviews, but that's the thing. It's like we'll just talk about it live. We'll just do it live, and then just move on. You know what I mean? Just saying. So I'm just like, who gives an F? Go check out the movie if you want to. I'm not getting paid to say this. I'm just. No, you would know. This show has been brought to you by The Odyssey. And then I'd be like, go see it because they paid me to tell you so. No, I'm going to keep it real. I haven't seen the movie yet. I don't even know if it's good or not. But here's the thing. My judgment on whether or not the movie's good or not is going to be because of the movie, not because of the casting. I don't care. I don't care, especially if it's a character that's not. These are characters that are in like for 5 seconds. They're in there for 5 seconds. Who cares? Move on. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we're going to try this. Okay, Ghost All Day, we're going to try this. For you, Ghost All Day, all right? Because I care about my fam. Okay? And to two campo. I don't know where the accent is, so I'm probably sounding really off. I'm probably cursing somebody off in some random language right now, so apologies. Okay. At two campo. That's really hard to say. I don't know why. But like I said, it still sounds like a drum set being thrown down a flight of stairs. I'm really sorry. No disrespect to Giannis. I don't need him coming at me. Okay? I'm sure he's a beautiful player. Okay? I'm sure he's a beautiful man inside and out. Do not let his last name the judgment of his last name be a reflection on who he is. Okay? Atatu Campo. Antatu Campo. There we go. Yes, I feel the Lord Antatu Campo. It does feel like I'm speaking in tongues. A little bit classic. It does. I'm sorry. See, what's up with the crickets? Stop. I got raid. Shut up. I got raid. Thank you. So moving on. Let's get into some conversations because we've been talking about the G is silent. I didn't know that. So it's Giannis. Oh, Jesus. That's how much basketball I watch. How about that? Yeah. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Right? right? Okay. We got to move on. We got to get into this conversation, okay? Got to do it, bro, T. I'm thinking about it. Real talk, T. I'll think about it, you know. I'll think about it. Maybe doing some movie reviews on the show. But that's the thing. Would you guys watch it? That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, would you guys watch it? It's like, hey, I just went and saw another freaking Marvel movie. Here's what I thought. You know what I'm saying? But if you guys will watch it, I'll do it. I don't give a damn. I will do it because I love movies. Okay? I love movies. So, and I got a lot of opinions on movies. We just don't get to talk about them very much. So all I'm going to say is Giannis. Okay. Giannis. Thank you. The G is silent. Gotcha. Okay. Like yawning, but Giannis. Okay. Thank you. So we got to get into this conversation. But like I said, go check it out and let me know if you saw it and if it's any good. Because I'm probably not going to be able to see it over this weekend. Maybe I will be. But we'll see. Okay. I had it so wrong. Giannis. It's Giannis. Okay. Black Greek. Greek black, just so you know. All right. So let's get into this. We got some things we got to talk about within the Nolan Wells case. Again, happy Friday to everybody. Happiest of Fridays to you all. Hopefully you guys are all enjoying your Friday. And yeah, go out and see a movie. Go see some cinema if you can. If you can't, shoot, enjoy a nice cold beer at home with the feet up outside in the sun and enjoy yourself. Damn, you deserve it. It has been one hell of a week. I don't know about y'all, but it's been one hell of a week. So, as we already talked about in a previous pop-up video that none of you guys watched, it's very, very offensive. It's very rude that you guys did not see this video. It's fine. It's fine. Just a little upset, a little disappointed. I'm kidding. I don't care. Okay, we're going to talk about it anyway here. All right. But apparently, Nolan Wells, the people surrounding Nolan Wells' case, FBI is now investigating into threats that he's been receiving, or that they have been receiving. This is a very, very serious situation because, again, we already knew through other people like what's his name? I totally forgot his name. Because now I got Giannis in my head. What's his name? The kid who said that he was the one screaming in the background. The one who was Trayston. Okay, Trayston Shepard also said out loud that he and other kids were receiving threats, actual death threats, because of their involvement or their connection to this case. And I'm going to say this now. I'm probably going to say it again in a little bit. Stop it. What is wrong with you if you are going out of your way to send threats to kids? Here's the thing. We're all side-eyeing something within this case. We're side-eyeing either it's the island that did it to him, it's the water that did it to him, some evil entity, some evil force, some evil person did this to him. It was the kids, his friends, who did this to him. All right. But we don't have any proof of that. All we know is that the timeline is weird and that they have the cell phone and they're holding on to the cell phone and all that. And that is weird too. I get that. But at the end of the day, stop it. What's wrong with you guys? It's not making the situation any better. And as much as we want them to come out and speak out because we're all nosy, right? We all nosy, so we would love for them to come out and speak out online and say their piece so that public knows a little bit more about what actually happened here, some more of the possible truth, or more facts, you're making these people run away. You're making them hide out and keep a tight lip on everything that's revolving around this case. Most importantly, a true timeline of what actually happened. By you going out there and sending out threats to these people, they're only going to cower away even more, in fear. But even besides that, pushing selfish reasons off to the side, what is wrong with you? You should know better than to do something like that. Stop it. It's wild to me that people would go out of their way to send death threats to anybody involved. And yes, I get it. It is heavily, it's racially motivated. Okay, like the things that are going on in these internet streets. There's a lot of racially motivated stuff going on. The things I have seen in chat rooms, the comments that I've seen under videos, even under some of my videos, astonishing. I did not know they still breed racist pieces of trash like that. It's crazy what I've seen. And I've seen a lot. So I wouldn't be surprised if people are out here saying all types of really bad things to these 3 white kids or to the parents, to the family that are just trying to get more transparency, more insight on what actually happened to their son. Because honestly, wouldn't you do it? Wouldn't you want to know more? Some of us are not lucky enough like this to have the likes of a lawyer or the media so wrapped up in a case that it keeps their son or their loved one's name out there. See, this is what I said before about the Nancy Guthrie case. I truly think that the Guthries could have really leaned on using the media a whole lot more, and they did not. Now, I know you guys may not know a whole lot about the Nancy Guthrie case or anything like that, and that's fine. Don't worry. It's all good. It's not like we're going to go into a deep dive conversation about it now. But what I'm trying to point out is that this family, the Walmsleys, Nolan Wells' parents, are very lucky to have the people that they have in their back pocket that are coming forward and speaking out and standing with them. Shoot, you got Tyler Perry, Byron Allen, you got Benjamin Crump, you got Al Sharpton, you got Colin Kaepernick, okay? You got all kinds of people stepping forward and standing behind this family. There's not a lot of families that get this opportunity. A lot of families want to know what the hell's going on with their kid or what happened to their kid, and they still are sitting in the land of ambiguity, right? Just not knowing at all anything, right? It's pretty insane. So again, it's wild that you got people sending threats to family and friends or anybody that's connected to this case just because they want to know the truth. Or just because, let's just say, social media, these internet streets takes this story, sees a black kid sitting in the middle of, a group of white kids, and they automatically assume that this all has to do with race. We don't know for sure yet if that's true or not. We don't. What we do know is that this kid is dead. And we still don't know how it happened. So, pretty insane stuff. And I would, there's some things with the Sebastian Rogers case. There's been some updates about that, not in regards to his case, but, things that the Sebastian Rogers father is doing right now. And, and there's certain things where I'm like, man, I just kind of wish that there was a Benjamin Crump type of lawyer to jump into these specific types of cases like Benjamin Crump is doing for Nolan Wells, Because I think that if there was somebody like that on like the Summer Wells case, the Sebastian Rogers case, any of these other cases that have kind of gone unsolved, Nancy Guthrie's case, for example, as well, I feel like we'd be light years ahead. We'd be light years ahead in those cases. You see? I truly wish, when it comes to Nancy Guthrie, I truly wish that Savannah was able to use her name and notoriety even more, solely to put pressure on Sheriff Nanos. You see what I'm saying? So it's a very interesting situation. And yeah, some people say that the girl that he was with knows exactly what happened to him, to Nolan. Don't know. We don't know. Could be, may not be, but she may be scared for her life right now. She may be receiving threats just because she was involved, because she was one of the last people to see him alive. And again, she was one of the last people to see him alive. So of course people are going to be side-eyeing her. But does that justify getting threats? No, it does not. But one thing is for sure, FBI is now involved. But I want to make this abundantly clear. They are sitting in the back. Okay? They're sitting in the back, y'all. Kind of like the Nancy Guthrie case. They're there, but they're not spearheading the investigation. They're just off to the side. Local PD is still the chief in this TP when it comes to this investigation and with the Nancy Guthrie case. So let's get into this. All right. As questions continue to swirl around Nolan Wells' demise following a 4th of July party in Mississippi, the FBI says they are assisting with the investigation and are working to address quote-unquote threats made against individuals connected with the case. In a statement obtained by WLBT, the FBI's Jackson office said that the Jackson County Sheriff's Office in Mississippi continues to lead the investigation into what happened to Nolan Wells, though their agency has assisted, quote-unquote, with certain aspects of the investigation, which federal tools and partnerships proved viable or valuable. Here's the thing. So in other words, they're probably doing the deep dive of the phone, making sure or seeing if any of the stuff was anything was deleted off the phone, if they deleted anything from his messages, his Snapchat, even from his video and photo archive, on that app. You see what I'm saying? So that, I think, is what the FBI is in the middle of doing right now as we speak. From day one, we have been supporting Jackson County as they've worked to gather information and find answers for the Wells family and the community. The FBI will continue ready or will remain ready to assist JCSO investigators as they request our support, particularly when federal resources may expand their capacity to provide clarity and peace of mind for Nolan's loved ones. So in other words, they are only stepping in when they are asked to step in. So they're not even towing the line. They're just stepping in the back. They're like, hey, you call us when you need us. If you don't need us, we'll see you when we see you. We'll see you on the next case. But call us if you need us. Federal agency also shared they've been working to address interstate threats that were received by individuals related to this matter. So that means people are getting threats and they're investigating it now. Now they're going out and they're trying to track down whoever's been sending these threats to anyone that's been saying that they've been getting threats. Kind of like the whole ransom notes thing. Like, yo, some of y'all are crazy. I'm sorry. Some of y'all are really crazy. Some of y'all will really go out of your way to do what, like, to track somebody down connected to the family or to connected to this case and threaten their life. What does that do for you? What does that do for you? Because it doesn't make any sense. Because, yeah, eventually FBI is going to track you down. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. These are real people's lives. These are real individuals' lives that you're trying to tamper with. It's the same thing with the ransom notes from the Nancy Guthrie case. Oh yeah, we have her. Give us money. What? Why would you say fake stuff like that? Why would you send fake stuff like that to a family that just wants to know where their mother is? Why? Why are people that crazy to do that? This doesn't make sense. Though the nature of the threats and who exactly has been impacted, okay, by them remains unclear. So Trayston Shepard, like we already talked about, he also said that his friends have received threats online. We're all young adults and we're still learning this whole adulthood / life thing. Sorry, I'm having a Trump moment. Hold on. Excuse me. We're all young adults and we're still learning this whole adult / life thing. We did no wrong here. And we don't know, or we don't understand how we're getting so much hate behind it. So, obviously, there's a lot of people that sit there and go, well, you had his phone. You didn't call the family to let them know that he was missing until much later. And then let's not forget, you also had his keys and the keys to his car, or the keys to his house and car, and his car was parked in your front lawn. So make it make sense. Why wouldn't you call them immediately saying, hey, yeah, he's missing. We haven't seen him. As soon as you realize he's missing. You know what I mean? Excuse me. Other community members involved, like Ashley Cole, a local judge whose son was with Wells on the holiday, said they deleted their social media pages for the same reason. Much remains unknown about the final hours of Nolan Wells. And his parents have repeatedly expressed doubt over one potential explanation that their son voluntarily separated from his friends while at a party on Horn Island, left his phone behind on the boat, and later passed away. Although law enforcement have said that they haven't found signs of foul play and think Nolan Wells could have drowned, according to his mom and dad, something more nefarious could have potentially taken place. So again, to me, I got a huge problem with the threats. The threats shouldn't happen. Doesn't matter if you have smoking gun evidence to prove that there's somebody who did this. Send that to local PD so that they can do what they're doing. Okay? All right? But let's see here. Oops. Thank you. Warren, thank you so much. Hold up, let me get that again. People always say don't make it about racism, but soon as one of them get a quote-unquote threat, they're quick to investigate, but they're very slow in investigating the demise of Nolan. It's absolutely racial. Well, I'm going to say this. The jury's still out on that. We don't know if it's racial or not. Again, I hate to say this. How he passed away is mysterious. he did die and was found in a very mysterious way. How could over 50 plus, if not 200 people not see this kid go under, not see this kid have a problem? That is something that's it's almost horrific. It's almost like a scene from a horror movie, right? You're walking out into the water and there's a whole bunch of people out there. Everyone's having a great time. Everyone's kicking it. And then suddenly you are literally succumbing to water. You are literally drowning right in front of them. And no one dares to see that you are actually drowning. That sounds like a nightmare to me. That actually sounds like something that you would see in a horror movie. So it just doesn't make, to me, it's so strange to me that he would literally do this, that would literally happen to him, and no one saw anything. That part, I got a massive problem with. That's the one thing I'm still trying to figure out. All right? Now, if he lost his life that way, then that has nothing to do with race. You understand that, right? That would be the only thing. Unless, he lost his life at the hand of somebody else and it was due to a jealous boyfriend or somebody, or an altercation between two guys because they were broing out over some BS, being young and dumb and drunk. That's possible too. But the fact that he went and if he did drown, it would be absolutely insane. Okay? Absolutely insane. If he was drowning and no one saw. Like I said, it sounds like the start of a really scary horror movie. And if he drowned because of a mistake that he made, some human error, then that has nothing to do with race. Zero. Because here's the thing. So far, there are some gaps in that timeline. The timeline that the friends gave us. The GPS shows that there is a time gap there. And there's a weird, they drove off to Fort Bayou. Why? I don't get it. That's a strange situation. I don't get it at all. They said that he was going to go on to another boat, hitch a ride with somebody else. Did he ever say who that other boat was? And why hasn't anybody else stepped forward? We've been obsessing over his friends that were on the original boat, but no one's obsessing about the second boat. No one's deep diving and saying, where is the second freaking boat? Think about that for a second. No one has said, oh, yeah, it's Ray Ray. That was Ray Ray's boat. No one has. We have yet to hear anything about Ray Ray's boat. Boat number 2. So again, where is it? No matter what. If he walked over and he was, swimming in the water and he got sucked in, got caught up in a riptide, that has nothing to do with race. I know there's a lot of people that want to hold on to it like it is about race. It may be. I've never not had that on the table. That is always sitting right here on the table until proven otherwise. But if this kid just got sucked in by some strange reason, by some wild situation, then this has nothing to do with race. And until we actually see, like, his friends are all like racists, you know what I'm saying? They're all just like, hardcore, racist pieces of trash type of thing. And they're posting things online about unaliving individuals and blah, blah, blah. Kind of like Ahmaud Arbery's situation. You know that case? Young man that was running through a construction site of a house and then he lost his life because a bunch of men chased him down and took his life. Remember that? They posted things about doing all kinds of terrible things to black people way before they did what they did to Ahmaud. So do we have any proof of that? Are there breadcrumbs of these kids posting things up? make America white again or something like that. Anything like that. Anything. Yet, unfortunately, I haven't seen anything like that. No one else has. You see what I'm saying? With all due respect, I haven't seen it yet. Maybe it's in there. Maybe it's somewhere. But I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it yet. We got to go over to the governor. All right. Because the governor made a statement of Mississippi. Made a statement, so I want to pull that up too. Where the heck is it? Where the heck? I had it and now it's gone. Here we go. It's a quick clip. Well, actually, hold on.
I have issued a call to convene the Mississippi Legislature in special session today at 3 p.m. The special session is necessitated by the June 30th expiration of statutes relating to the disclosure of youth records and multiple lawsuits regarding the same.
Hold on. Let's go here.
There's been obvious national attention on Mississippi because of the death of Nolan Wells, the football player found on Horn Island after July 4th, and all the racial overtones that come with that. Have you been in touch with investigators in Jackson County and asking for full transparency in that investigation so that the public will know exactly what happened to this young man?
Sean Tyndall, the Commissioner of the Department of Public Safety, has been in contact with those individuals. Obviously, the autopsy was done by the State Medical Examiner's Office at the Department of Public Safety. I personally know Sheriff John Ledbetter from Jackson County very well. I have not personally spoken to him. I have full confidence that he is going to do his job. And what I will simply say is I don't know all of the details. I don't know all of the facts surrounding the case. I have yet to see a fact or a piece of evidence that suggests any foul play. But if there is, I feel confident that the Sheriff's Office, the District Attorney's Office, the members at the Department of Public Safety that deal with these crimes, if there had been one, they will find it and they will do what is necessary.
I think it's interesting that, like, for me, I'm like, if you have nothing to say about it, then don't say anything about it. Does that make any sense? Anybody else anybody else picking up what I'm putting down? Like, if you have nothing else to say, if you don't have anything to say about the case, then don't say anything about the case. You see what I'm saying? I got a massive problem. I got a massive problem with people who sit there and say, "Oh, hey, it is an ongoing investigation." The ongoing investigation is not a problem. The problem I have is we still believe that there's no foul play. Why say any of that? Why say any of that? It's very frustrating. Like, why would you just say it's still an ongoing investigation, and when we know more, we'll let you know what we know. And that's it. And just move on. Next question, please. And that's it. But why stick around and say something? If you have nothing to say, then don't say anything at all. Hold on. Just here's response one more again. I'm going to turn it up because some of you guys are like, I can't hear. What? What did he say? What? Let me turn it up. Try to turn it up a little bit higher. Let's hear one more again.
For full transparency in that investigation so that the public will know exactly what happened to this young man.
The Sean Tyndall, the
very
Commissioner
low.
of the Department of Public Safety, has been in contact with those individuals. Obviously,
By the way, they were not. They were not for a good long time. Just to be very exact, they were not for a very good long time. Family had to go out and speak on another show to say, hey, we haven't heard anything from 5-0 at all. So transparency as far as that goes is brand new. If it's even happened. They're supposed to be waiting for another 72 hours, I think, or something like that, or at least a few days ago. It was 72 hours ago that they would have to wait to get more information from 5-0. That's after the fact, after them not hearing anything from them for a whole freaking week. So again, what? So if they are being transparent now, great. But it's a little too late now. You know what I'm saying? All right. The damage is done. Okay. Leonard, thank you so much for the love. I appreciate it. Smells like BS. Who told him no foul play if he hasn't talked to anybody yet? I'd like to know that too. Remember, initially they came out and said there was no foul play. They're like, we feel there's no foul play involved in this whole in this whole case. And the family's like, au contraire, mon frere. You say that there's no foul play. Mother lover, the kid was found here. We got his phone from somewhere else and his stuff from somewhere else. Its stuff is deleted off his phone. What the F? What do you mean? There's no foul play. You just found the kid. You haven't done your due diligence yet. Why does 5-0 always come out with that kind of crap out first? Why do they say that stuff first? Why don't they just keep that to themselves and say, we're looking into things, the investigation's still ongoing? You don't need to write it off that quickly. See, this is the reason why people go, wait a second, Mississippi acting funny. Mississippi acting funny. Just, you know what I mean? It's dumb. It's so ridiculous.
Autopsy was done by the state medical examiner's office.
Okay. Uh-oh. I'm so happy we found this. Okay, I wanted to play this part because here's the thing. Here, I got a big, massive problem. All right? Clearly, I got a big, massive problem. But that's another conversation in itself. I got a big, massive problem with the autopsy. Hold up now. Hold up now. Question. Where's the autopsy results? Where's the autopsy reports? The ones that the state was conducting. Have we heard anything about them yet? Have we? Have we? Hold on. Remember that you have independent autopsy going off here very soon. On autopsy on Nolan Wells being done in Washington, D.C. because they flew his body out there to run an independent autopsy on his body. Why haven't we heard from the state's autopsy reports yet before we hear anything from the independent autopsy? Here's my theory, all right? Here's a quick little theory. I think that the state is holding off on their autopsy reports because they don't want theirs to contradict the independent autopsy reports. We're going to discuss that in just a minute. Let me get this. Leonardo, thank you so much. They just wait on the independent autopsy so they can save face. Exactly. This is exactly what I was going to say. They're waiting on the independent autopsy results so that they don't look like Boo-Boo the Fool when they put out their own autopsy reports. That's the only reason I can think of. Why are they holding out? We would have already been known, oh, he drowned, there was water in his lungs, and then there's this and the other, and all that. The toxicology results or reports would come out weeks later. Autopsy can be done fairly quickly. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit there and say it's like within seconds, but they could do that. But why haven't they put out their own autopsy reports? Why haven't we seen that? Are they wanting the independent autopsy results to come out faster before theirs? That doesn't make any sense. Damn right I'm speculating. Come on, guys. I'm asking questions here. It seems weird. I said I got a theory. I got something to say. Of course I'm speculating, damn it. Damn it. But it doesn't make sense, and I know for a fact everybody and their mom is asking the same doggone thing too. Has his body been released for? Yes, it has. Beautiful messy ball. In fact, his body was transported. Okay. Hello, beautiful messy ball. Hello. But they transported his body from Mississippi to Washington, D.C. last week. That happened either earlier this week or over the weekend. Colin Kaepernick fronted the money for his body to be transported from there, from Mississippi, over to D.C. to do a full-on independent autopsy on his remains. So his remains, allegedly, I'm sure they're back on their way back now to Mississippi, I'm assuming, because they're having his funeral, or it's going to be coming back over this weekend, I'm assuming, because his funeral, I think it's on Monday, Allison, just so you know, his funeral is on Monday. So their celebration of life, his homegoing party, all right, is on Monday. So I'm assuming they're going to want his remains there on Monday. They're already doing an independent autopsy right now as we speak in D.C. So that means toxicology and autopsy done by the state has already been done because they released the body back to the family so that they can do their part. They can do their due diligence and, of course, so that they can do their proper goodbyes to their son's remains. So, if they already have the autopsy results, why have they not released the results? That seems a little bit weird. And yes, Larissa, I agree. I'm waiting on the toxicology results as well. I think we all should be waiting on the toxicology results too, because there could be something in his body. Could have been something. You never know. Maybe he took something. Maybe he drank something that stopped his heart. You never know. That's possible too. Maybe he took something. Maybe something happened. Maybe a few too many fireballs or something like that. You know what I mean? Way too many shots of tequila. Something happened. Maybe he had a strange cardiac arrest or some sort of reaction from drinking too much or something. I don't know. You see what I'm saying? But those things will be said or shown in his autopsy and in his toxicology reports, right? So something, you know what I mean? It's interesting. Chelsea, thank you so much for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. Remember when Chelsea Noam and Greg Bovino outright lied about Alex Preddy? Yep. Government officials can't be trusted with initial investigation info. I agree. Come on now. That's why I look at ICE and anybody involved, like anybody who is now like running ICE and all that. I am side-eyeing the hell out of ICE. I'm sorry. You already lied to me once, big time. Fool me once, can't get fooled again. Okay? Not never again. And that was in 4K, guys, lying to us. So again, if they can lie, you know for a damn show they can lie over here too. All right? Now again, like I said, anything's possible. This may be a situation where this kid literally drowned. Literally. And nothing nefarious happened. But like I said, the autopsy results they already have their autopsy results. So where is this? You see what I'm saying? Like where are the results of his autopsy? Because they've been had it. They're just sitting on it. Why are they sitting on it? And again, that's not speculation. That's mother-loving truth. Why would you give the family their kid's remains if you didn't do the proper, go through the proper panels and proper, proper criteria protocol before giving them their child remains? That makes no sense. It make no sense if they're like, oh, ma'am, we actually made a mistake. We didn't run no autopsy on your son. So do you think you can bring him back so we can run a proper autopsy and toxicology exams on your son? That would make no sense now, would it? That'd be dumb. So they already did that. They've been done those things. They should be right now waiting for the toxicology results to come back for the state. Autopsy results should be done. Done. They should be out here in the streets right now. But we haven't heard a damn thing yet. Why? They're running an independent autopsy up in Washington, D.C. right now, being paid for by Colin Kaepernick. And we still haven't heard from what the state has found as far as the autopsy results. Come on now. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. What's the explanation behind that? Why are they halting those results? That makes no sense. Let me play more.
At the Department of Public Safety. I personally know Sheriff John Ledbetter from Jackson County very well. I have not personally spoken to him. I have full confidence that he is going to do his job. And what I will simply say is I don't know all of the details. I don't know all of the facts surrounding the case. I have yet to see a fact or a piece of evidence that suggests any foul play. But if there is, I feel confident that the sheriff's office, the district attorney's office, the members at the Department of Public Safety that deal with these crimes, if there had been one, they will find it and they will do what is necessary.
Very clinical answer. But at the same time, if you ain't got nothing to say nothing at all. He just said, oh, you know me, Ledbetter, I know him very well. We play golf every Sunday. We're good friends. Haven't talked to him about this case specifically, but when we find out more information, we'll get it out to y'all. But the information that we do know is that it seems like there is no foul play. He may have just drowned. Don't say anything. If you ain't got nothing to say, don't say nothing. Leonard, thank you so much for the love. State can't afford to get this autopsy wrong at all. Not one part. Because that will open up all the other cases they have done. Yeah. They can't muck this one up. Now, can they? They can't. Remember, there's a bunch of other kids, a bunch of other black men, by the way, that have lost their lives in very tragic ways and very mysterious ways that have been, that have been watched, that have been overseen by a specific medical examiner that a lot of people are starting to side-eye because, again, she would sit there and go, oh, that person unalived themselves. Oh, that person did that and the other. Oh, he got shot 5 times in the back. Oh, there's nothing happened there. Nothing nefarious. No, that was a justified shooting. Huh? So if they find out that something sinister happened to Nolan Wells from the independent autopsy, and let's just say that medical examiner in Mississippi, the one that we're talking about, put out their autopsy results before the independent autopsy and it goes against the independent autopsy results, oh, they're in a world of trouble, y'all. They're in a world of trouble. So there's a lot of people that are speculating that they're holding out on those autopsy results because they don't want to look bad. And they want to quickly pen in what the independent autopsy results say. That's what people are speculating. Straight up, that's what they're speculating right now. They're like, wait, no, we're not going to put it out because as soon as we put ours out, they're going to say something that contradicts what the state has said, what the medical examiner said on this. We ain't going to do that. We'll just wait for the independent autopsy to come out. And then we'll quickly change it. Yep, that's exactly what we saw. Oh, my word. Oh, my God, something sinister happened to him. Say word. Okay, let me fill this out. Okay, and let me backdate this really quick. And then they'll put it out. That's what people are speculating because this should have already come out, guys. That's not speculation. That's truth. That stuff should have come out already, and it has not. Okay? That's wild. If you ask me, that is very, very wild. All right? No, I don't know who's doing the messy. That's a good question. I don't know who's doing the independent autopsy, but that's something I think is very important as well. We should know that too, so that we can find out if that person's reliable and good at their job too. I'm being real. We got to be fair on both sides. Where everybody's side-eyeing the hell out of this ME, out of this medical examiner, okay, out of Mississippi, and going, oh snap, she's overseen other ones where the dude was suspended from a tree in a college, in a university courtyard, and she just said, oh, he did that himself, and everyone's still side-eyeing that case, right? Another guy got shot 5 times in the back. And she said, oh, no, nothing nefarious here. It was justified. You see what I'm saying? So there's other cases that people are already side-eyeing the hell out of this woman. We should find out who's doing the independent autopsy too, just to keep it fair, just to make sure that they're keeping their ish together and being truthful as well. But let's go over to News Nation here really quick. All right. We got some things to talk about. All right. 1 second. Let me get this. I think there's one here. Leonard, thank you so much for the love. I appreciate it. Be prepared, y'all. Be prepared. Y'all feel like wait. Be prepared, y'all. I feel like we not gonna like the results because if he drowned, it doesn't take that long to report that. Doesn't take a week to know he drowned if that's the case. That's exactly the whole situation, right? It shouldn't take this long if he drowned. If he went under and this was an accident, why would it take this long? Why would the autopsy results not be out here for everybody to see? Remember, they said, we don't see foul play. No, sir. We ain't seen no foul play. Okay, prove it. If there's no foul play, put out the autopsy results. Because you know for a fact it would be fast out here, so fast. Everybody and their mama would be like, yo, okay, yeah, that's a damn shame. He drowned. That's so sad. And you know what I mean? R.I.P., dog. You know, and be done. Say our goodbyes. Say he was a good man. But no, they didn't put out that stuff. That doesn't make sense. Why didn't they put that stuff out yet? Come on now. Body wasn't waterlogged. That doesn't automatically mean he didn't succumb to water. We don't know whether or not the water was in his lungs or not. That's what things people are saying, but we don't know if that's entirely true or not. So like I said, there's some things that just don't make any doggone sense. Remember, this is the same thing that happened to Riley Strain, too. Remember the kid, Nashville? He was out here kicking it, having a grand old time in Nashville. Got super, super drunk, walked down the street, went to a river. Don't know why he did what he did. but he went to a river, and I guess he fell in. Either he was trying to take a leak or maybe take a dump. I don't know. Maybe he just went over there to just vomit. You never know, because of how much liquor he had in his system. And then he fell in. And I think if I'm correct, there was something about him not having water in his lungs either, if my memory serves me correctly. And apparently it was like something about is a possibility of your lungs seizing up that's stopping water from going in. And I think that's the same situation that happened with him too. But remember, Riley Strain, I think if that's the situation, his lungs seized up too, or there was no water in his lungs either. And he was under for a while. Remember, he was gone for a minute. So this is kind of this may be, dry drowning. Thank you. In fact, let me AI that really quick. Let me Google AI that really quick. Dry drowning. I'm just reading this off of Google AI real quick. All right. Dry drowning is an outdated and non-medical term. Okay. Historically, it describes when a person inhaled a small amount of water that never reached the lungs, causing the vocal cords to spasm and shut off the airway. There it is. It could be life-threatening, or it can be a life-threatening emergency, and typically sets in within an hour of exiting the water. Exiting the water, though. Okay. Now, medical professionals define drowning broadly as experiencing respiratory impairment due to submersion in liquid, and genuinely avoid terms like dry drowning or secondary drowning to prevent confusion. However, the dangers that these terms refer to, such as vocal cord spasms or water irritating the lungs, are real and require immediate medical attention. Duh, because if you don't do anything about it, you might perish. So moving on. Let's see. Hold on. Let me try this too. See, it's the same thing. I put in the word death as well in there. It's the same thing. So it's the same thing. So again, this is what happened. Apparently, this is what happened to Riley Strain. That's why everybody's like, wait a second, something nefarious happened to him, right? And then we found out about dry drowning. That you can possibly have dry drowning even when you're in water. So maybe that's something that happened here. I don't know yet. We don't know yet, because we don't even have the first autism, the first autopsy. We don't even have the first autopsy from the actual county. Medical examiner has not even exposed that, has not even unearthed that yet. Why haven't they? Like I said, it's so asinine. It doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't. It doesn't. But there's a lot of other things that don't make any sense with this case. All right, let's talk about it.
Though his keys and phone were there. So what are these new? Though his keys and phone were there. So what do these new records actually tell investigators? Do they answer any of the big questions in the case? For that, I turn to Cheryl McCollum, active crime scene investigator in Metro Atlanta, who's worked on high-profile cases from Tupac Shakur to the Zodiac Killer. She's also the author of Swans Don't Swim in a Sewer. Great to see you as always, Cheryl. So what answers? Does this dispatch audio? Does this this GPS data? What answers do you have now that you didn't?
You know, you can hear the voice. He doesn't sound panicked. He doesn't sound out of control. He sounds very calculated. There's a problem. They're trying to handle it. The other thing we now have is GPS. Tracking that boat is critical because these boys already made a statement. They already talked to family. They already talked to law enforcement. If their story does not match completely with what that boat did, then they're going to have a problem.
Well, from what I can see, it seems consistent in the idea that the boat was having problems. What is interesting is the dispatcher says, is everyone on board and in good health otherwise? And the caller says, yeah, everyone on board. First of all, everybody's on board. Nolan wasn't on board, right? And he's not fully answering the question.
Well,
unless I'm looking at it wrong. Unless I'm completely off.
Well, he's probably answering what he knows is accurate at that time. If Nolan stayed behind, then everybody is on board because he wasn't supposed to be.
Yeah.
So she asked a very unusual question when she says, is everybody in good health otherwise? I think that's unusual. But again, they are sinking. So she's making sure, hey, is everybody on board? Is nobody jumping off? Like if you're really sinking, are you going ahead and, getting in the water? But he says, no, everybody's on board.
Do we have a more accurate window of Nolan's movements? Let's think about it, right? So the investigators said that he was last seen at around 3 p.m. I haven't seen other accounts that would seem to dispute that. There's a dispute about whether he, left to go talk to a girl or came back on board. And then you have this GPS data showing the boat didn't leave Horn Island until about 4:30. This dispatch, is around 4 p.m. What does this tell you?
There were hundreds of people out there. You've seen the video and the photographs. How somebody did not see him is pretty shocking to me.
It's terrifying if you ask me. Okay? It's absolutely terrifying. No one saw him at all. No one saw him go under. No one. No one thought, oh, he's just goofing off. No one saw anything. Like, it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make any sense. The only other thing I can think of, if you're like, let's look at this timeline here really quick. And then I'm going to say the only thing I can think of is this other thing. Okay. So 9:56, they arrive at the private dock. They leave, right? They sail off. They go to Horn Island. They kick it. Whoop-de-woo. They're probably drinking en route. So they're day drinking already. They're breaking their fast. Okay. So for breakfast, they're drinking, beers and doing shots and doing God knows what. They're straight up on a strictly liquid diet. Okay. There we go. All right. So they arrived to Horn Island, probably already tipsy because they've been drinking since the morning. Probably slamming beers on the boat. They kick it for several hours. Then, problem with the boat. 4:31 p.m. They leave after distress call and was towed for 3 miles. Here's the thing: we've heard the dispatch call, right? And yes, they sound very, very. The person who's on the phone sounds calm, but no one's ever really said this at all. Maybe they're too busy trying to sound sober. Think about that for a second. What if they're too busy trying to sound sober that they sound calm? Remember, they're drinking. They're kicking it. So it's not like they're sitting there going like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to act all drunk." When first off, they're underage. And second, they're underage, drinking and operating a boat. So yes, a lot of people are like, why does he sound so calm? My God, that sounds suspicious. I really do think that if they are telling the truth, they're trying to sound sober on that phone call. They don't want to sound like, all messed up. And they may be focusing on trying to sober up and straighten out so that when they do get towed, they're not sitting there going, oh, we got a drunk guy calling in saying something's wrong with his boat. And then next thing you know, you got 5-0 pulling up, and then he gets arrested for DUIs and underage drinking. Let's not forget. Right? So I'm just saying, Put that into consideration. These are underage kids drinking. Now they're having a problem with their boat, and God forbid, they don't want to seem like they're two sheets to the wind, right? Or plastered, or white boy wasted, or schlammered, or sloshed. How many of these other phrases of being drunk can we come up with, right? Like you guys have all wrote out in the other show. So maybe they're just too busy trying to come up with sounding like they're sober and in control. So there's that. But then this is the other part. They get towed for 3 miles, and then all of a sudden, 3 miles in, you're good. So I guess they detached from being towed, and then they go to the original dock from where they left at 11:14 p.m. But then within, 7, I don't even know the math here, but a few minutes later, 7 minutes later, they go out to Fort Bayou. They're there for a little bit, and then they drive back from Fort Bayou back to the dock, and then they tow the boat home. I still don't understand why they went to Fort Bayou. And it for damn show isn't to go find Nolan Wells. It for damn show isn't to find Nolan Wells. Because if they were actually looking for him and concerned about him and were wanting to know his whereabouts, they would have gone back to Horn Island, and that's not at all what they ended up doing. But let's continue.
Especially if he left one group that knows him to go with another group that clearly knows him. I don't understand how he got separated from everybody that he knows. It is early. They are actively still talking to people. They are gathering, photographic evidence and video evidence from people that were there. Even if I did not know him, if I'm just taking a video of the whole crowd, I could have captured him. So people that have no connection to him are still turning in evidence to be, looked at and analyzed.
And look, his family says it would be highly unusual that he would separate from a group. I also, while I have you, I got to ask you about the phone. Phone's a key piece of evidence in this case. There was a claim that perhaps data was deleted from his phone. He didn't have his phone with him. We know it was announced, according to Ben Crump, who's representing the family, that there's going to be this mutual investigation or examination of the phone, both by the family's private experts and by state investigators. A, is that unusual? And B, what are you hoping to find?
I like it. And let me tell you something. You've got a mama that does not understand what happened to her baby, period. She deserves to have those folks look at it. You've got your expert. I've got mine. Y'all are going to look at this thing at the exact same time. There's not going to be a doubt in my mind what is extracted from that phone and what it means. I like that part a whole lot. That, to me, should happen. There should be no secrets. This is not a situation where you say you've got to wait on the autopsy. You got to wait on toxicology. She doesn't want to wait. She wants to know right now because you're telling me something that for her does not make sense. It has to make sense. And Jesse, you know this from your background in the courts. When you have parents that have lost a child, you have got to give them all the information in a way that they can absorb it and understand it
100%.
and eventually accept it.
And she's not wrong. She is not wrong. I agree with this woman 110%. They want their answers and they want it now. You can't just sit there and go, now, wait now. Now, wait. Like, wait for what? We want to know we want to know the timeline. We want to know exactly what happened to our son. You got to understand, every second that they do not have information about this, it's just another excruciating minute. It's another excruciating hour. It's another excruciating day that they are going without understanding what happened to their son. I mean, come on. I don't blame them at all. I don't blame them for bringing in the likes of the people that they've been bringing in. I don't. I really don't. Like I said before, people who have missing person cases that need to get solved, so on and so forth, man, get a hold of, get a hold of somebody who's going to have the right connections, in the right, in the right connections. Because for real, shoot, this case catapulted quickly. And next thing you know, they were on every single news outlet getting the word out there, adding more and more pressure on police. But here's the thing. The pressure hasn't really changed, hasn't really changed how the police have been handling things, though, if you noticed. Because if they were reacting to the pressure, the police, we would have already had the autopsy results back. We would already been had the autopsy reports by now. We would have, and we haven't heard a damn thing now, have we?
Especially if they don't trust local law enforcement. And look,
Correct.
as we reported yesterday, Ben Crump indicated also that the DA told him that after the investigation, this case may be presented to a grand jury for potential criminal charges, whether that's directly related to Nolan's death or something that happened in this investigation. We'll see. We'll be on top of it.
That's the reason why also I think that the families have deleted their social media accounts, not only just because of the threats, but I also think because they realize that their kids are about to get hit with some serious stuff because, yeah, something happened here that did not need to happen. If they made better choices, legal choices, let's also say that too, legal choices, but they didn't make legal choices. They were drinking. They were underage. Laws are broken here, okay? Laws are definitely broken here. But let us take a look at this.
They will do what is necessary.
Well, if you don't know anything, why are you talking? Because it's...
See, thank you. Thank you. If you don't know nothing, why are you saying anything at all? Exactly. Just like what I said earlier. If you don't know nothing, say nothing then. Damn.
starting to bubble up as important. And that's why we're covering on Cuomo Crime Time, and you can go get the podcast anywhere you get podcasts. It's free. Subscribe. We're taking on these kinds of cases and showing you the inside from the people who are pros in figuring this out as opposed to just peddling conspiracies. So,
you know what's wild is that even Megyn Kelly is starting to dabble into true crime now too. Oh, have mercy. Ain't nobody asked for that. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna keep it a being with y'all. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of Megyn Kelly. I'll just be real. But everybody now got a true crime thing, you know. On this episode of Megyn Kelly's True Crime Podcast, we're gonna be diving into something racist. Because I'm just a terrible human being. Come check out Megyn Kelly's True Crime Podcast. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I'm just gonna keep it real. I'm not a fan. Just so you know. Spoiler alert. I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
Reporting live from Myers Club for
Hold on. Somebody just sent me another video. Or T just sent me a video. We may look at that if we get a second. We may check that out. Give me a second. All right. May not be able to, but we'll see. All right. I'm sorry. I'm just not a fan. I'm sorry. If I hurt somebody's feelings, I'm sorry. I'm not a fan. If you're telling, you know what I'm saying? Nah. She was defending PDF files and telling. And nah, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. Not a fan. Not a fan. Let's continue. But everybody seems to be having a podcast about true crime now. Everyone's doing we're going to deep dive into the popular unsolved true crime cases of this millennia. Come check it out. You know? We already have a Candace Owens. Okay? We already have Candy O. We don't need another one, man. We don't need another one, man. All right, I'm done. We already have Candace Owens, man. Moving on.
Will the family of the dead 18-year-old, Nolan Wells, start getting answers about how exactly this happened? Nolan was the only black kid in his friend group of 5 who went out on the boat that July 4th. Does that matter?
Technically, I just want to make this abundantly clear. He was the only black kid on the boat, yes, but he was not the only black kid on the island. I just want to make that abundantly clear. All right. I'm not saying that
another story Americans watching very closely is the death of Nolan Wells. It's been nearly 2 weeks now since the mysterious death.
What the hell was that? I didn't ask for you to speak. Did I ask for you to speak? Damn. Excuse me, guys. I apologize. I was just rudely interrupted. As I was saying, I even forgot what I was saying. That threw me off so much, that much. But here's the thing. Yes, as I was saying, he was not the only black kid on that island. I just want to make sure that is abundantly clear. Okay? He was not the... no, I get he said boat, but I also want to make sure, because there's other people out here that are saying, oh, yeah, you know, he was the only black kid on the island. He was the only black kid at that party. No, he wasn't. There were other black kids at the event as well. Like I said, it may not have been a whole bunch of these kids, a whole bunch of black kids, but there were black kids there. Other black kids were there, for sure. Just want to make sure. Yes, he was the only one on the boat. Yes, for sure. But there were other black people at the party on the island. Just so you know. I just want to make that clear for you guys. Okay? Damn.
Nolan was also the only one who never returned. That obviously matters. His body was found 2 days after he was reported missing near the shoreline off Horn Island. Did he die in the water or did he die on land? That we're going to know. Police initially said they did not suspect foul play, but his family is insisting on a full investigation. Yesterday, the DA met with Nolan's parents. Afterwards, the family said the case will be presented to a grand jury once the investigation is complete. Interesting. They also said Nolan's phone, which he didn't keep with him when he was separated from his friends, will undergo a forensic inspection from both state and the family's chosen experts. The family believes some of Nolan's messages may have been deleted. Why do they believe that? There's also been new audio released of the boys on the boat that afternoon. Does it mean anything? Let's get some answers. Let's bring in former FBI agent Jennifer Coffindaffer and civil rights attorney Ariva Martin. It's good to have you both. Jennifer, let's start with the nuts and bolts.
Hold on real quick. Thank you so much. Welcome to the family. Thank you so much, Ree. I appreciate you gifting one membership. I appreciate it. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family, you new member, okay? Just pay it forward. Open the door for somebody. Do something nice for you, for somebody out there, okay? Ree just sent you some love, so send the love back, okay? Pay it forward.
The audio, does it advance understanding?
Not really, Chris. I guess in a sense, it advances the fact that they were discussing leaking on the boat, that a bilge had an issue. Really, that was it. There was nothing in it that showed anything nefarious, any fighting or anything along those lines. So in that aspect, yes, it gave more clarity.
When the investigation is done, we will present it to a grand jury. Now, Ariva, that can mean something. It can mean nothing, because you can always go to a grand jury. It kind of gives the accountability over to the jury.
No, I think it's an important development, Chris, in this case. This case, basically, Nolan Wells died, and his death is a mystery to all of us at this point. And when you have a case of this nature, a suspicious murder, suspicious death, I shouldn't say murder because we don't know at this point, but a suspicious death, I think it's appropriate for this case to be submitted to a grand jury. And I believe the independent investigation that's happening with respect to the phone is appropriate, as well as this independent autopsy, which the family has also commissioned as well. Look, you got to look at Mississippi. You have to look at the history of racial terror in Mississippi, the history of African-American victims in a state like Mississippi. And I would concur with the family that they should have independent forensic evidence that is presented to a grand jury, because there is no trust that this family has in this law enforcement agency. You have the governor coming out making statements. You said yourself, Chris, if you don't know anything, why are you talking? So to even have a governor weigh in at this early stage is seemingly inappropriate, particularly since we don't know the facts and this notion that there's no foul play. There's no evidence to support that statement whatsoever.
That answer will be that question will be answered in large part, Jennifer, by the autopsy. Am I correct?
Absolutely. That autopsy is going to show, listen, is there water in the lungs or wasn't there water in the lungs? If there's water in the lungs, that is going to show he likely drowned. If there isn't, that would show that there was foul play and that something happened in advance of him going into that water. So the autopsy is key along with the toxicology. And this is points of evidence that are independent, meaning no matter what, both individuals, whether it's the ME or whether it's the independent people conducting the autopsy, should come to the same conclusion because it's scientific.
So Dusty, when you were answering the question, said to me, what about the toxicology? Would that decide it? In truth, it goes with your answer. I'll give it to you, Ariva. If there's water in the lungs and the toxicology shows the presence of things, it might help explain why he drowned, but it's still a drowning. And if there's toxicology that's really high and there's no water in the lungs, then it could be suggestive of drugs, but it's what else the autopsy shows, right? Because you can be high and also have been strangled. You know what I mean? You got to see what the autopsy is.
You can be intoxicated and still be pushed into water and drowned by other people. So the drowning itself or water in the lungs is not going to be dispositive about whether a crime was committed in this case. We have to have the complete evidence. I want to know what those friends know. We've been getting these shifting narratives, Chris, about what happened that day. Did he stay behind with the girl? Was the girl even on the island? There's some accounts that the girl left the island and wasn't on the island with Nolan Wells. What did his friends know? When did they come forward with the information that they did have access to? So I don't think water in the lungs alone, or even whatever we learn from this toxicology report alone, is going to give us all the answers this family and this community deserve.
I know it's not satisfying, Jennifer, but what I keep saying to people is, all I know is at this point, it's not wrong to be asking questions. When you get the autopsy back and they give it to you and it seems to check out with other forensic experts that this seems right, that's when you start exhausting the questions and the answers. But right now, they need to get that piece involved. And as soon as they do, I'm coming back to you so that you can help me understand what we now know and what we still need to know and what it means. Jennifer.
So, obviously there's a lot that still needs to be figured out, right? We don't have there's certain elements that are still missing here. Yes, we need transparency as soon as possible. We don't have any transparency at all whatsoever. That is a massive problem, in my personal opinion. The fact that we are still waiting for an autopsy report from the Jackson County Sheriff's Office, from the Jackson County Medical Examiner's Office is still, I find, very shady. I feel it's very, very shady and suspect. All right. But it just seems like I don't think that there were other substances other than just alcohol in his system. I truly think that. Now, maybe he drank too much. Maybe he drank too fast, a hard liquor or something like that, that he had some sort of adverse reaction to. I don't know. Maybe some, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he had an allergic reaction to something that he didn't know that he was allergic to. I mean, that's possible too. But the fact that if he actually did, succumb to water, then that would tell us no foul play. But given the fact that they have not given us the autopsy results yet, that just screams strange to me. It looks shady. I don't know about you guys, but the way it feels to me, it does not feel like we're getting the full truth here. There is not full transparency going on. And if I were the parents, which I feel like they would be doing this too, and rightfully so, I think that the parents must be losing their minds right now over the fact that we have not heard anything at all from law enforcement. The autopsy results should have been out already, and they haven't. They have not been released. You see, here's the thing. If there's nothing wrong, if there's nothing nefarious that happened, why haven't they given the autopsy results, at least that, out by now? Why haven't they given us that? I'm not talking about it. I'm not talking about the independent one that, you know, we may be getting that this weekend. We may be getting that Monday morning. We don't know. But I find it strange that they've already done their autopsies. They've already done their autopsy exam. They've done their testing as far as locally. And that should have already been out for everyone to know. And we still have not heard anything yet. If they don't want people to side-eye Mississippi's local PD or anything of that sort, they would have been real quick to get that stuff out as quickly as possible for everyone to see and hear as fast and as quickly as possible. But given the fact that they're sitting on it and they have not released that stuff, that looks sus as hell. And rightfully so. You got family and friends side-eyeing local PD right now because they're dragging their feet to put out stuff that should have already been out by now. I'm just saying, when you got the general public, when you got the court of public opinion already side-eyeing you, you have to make sure that your stuff is prompt, precise, and honest. But interesting how prompt doesn't exist right now. We're still waiting, which causes more speculations and side eyes and sparks up more conspiracy theories. So when it does come out, let's just say it comes out that he did drown. And this is from local PD, their medical examiner puts it out. He goes, yep, he succumbed to water. Let's just say they finally put that out. You think that people out here, the general public's going to believe it now? I tell you what, I think not. I don't think they're going to believe it at all. Why? Because they lacked being prompt. See, they're already screwed up. They've already screwed it up. Before they even started, they've already screwed up. It's kind of like, it's exactly like the Nancy Guthrie case. Sheriff Nanos shuts down her home. He says it is a crime scene. And then seconds later, it seems like, he goes, yeah, it's open. We've released the house back to the family and everything. People can walk in and out of that house. No big deal. It's all good. It's not a crime scene anymore. Only for him to run back and go, oh, wait. It's a crime scene again. Whoops. Sorry, guys. Days later, it's a crime scene again. My bad, guys. Whoops. Crime scene. Whoa. Why are you in here? It's a crime scene. Sir, you just said, well, it's a crime scene now. My bad. It looks dumb. It looks suspicious. It looks shady as hell. So, are we ever going to get any information like that? Are we going to get prompt? Well, prompt is gone now. The on time reporting of autopsy already late. That's already done. So they've already screwed the pooch already on that. So if it comes out today, let's just say, people are still going to be like, yeah, right, this is real. That woman lying. They've already screwed it up. You understand? And if it does come out that he drowned, people are going to deny it. People are going to say it's a lie because of the lack of them coming out with stuff. So, we are living in some very, very strange times right now. The Nolan Wells case obviously is taking a lot of people's attention, which I totally understand. It's taking my attention. This is an insane situation. And no one should have to go through this, if you ever, God forbid, if you ever have to go through something like this, God forbid you have to, if you ever have to, but if you do, I hope this never happens to you when you're just trying to get honest information about someone that you love, about their whereabouts or their last moments on this planet. Now, of course, I still ask you guys, does this person lose their life in a nefarious way? Or was this a terrible, terrible accident? I ask you guys that. I still ask you guys that. It may very well be just an accidental situation. But here's the other thing I was going to say that I forgot to mention. My other thought was this. Because obviously a lot of us are like, how did no one see Nolan go down? If he was going down, you get what I'm saying? If he was going down, why didn't anybody go, oh my God, this kid is going down. Let me swim over there and try to save him. The only other thing I can think of is if he swam out behind a boat, out of view of anybody, that he was like maybe trying to swim around a boat or something of that sort, right? And then he just got sucked under. And no one saw him because the boat is in the way. That's the only explanation I can think of, aside from him just being right there in front of everybody and just going under. If it is just him going under and that's the only thing that happened, and no one saw that, they're too busy partying and having a great time, pounding seltzers and trying to get girls' numbers, that they didn't even see 6'2", if I'm correct, 180-pound, 18-year-old Nolan Wells going down. It's still wild. It still feels like this is like a horror movie. Like, how did nobody not see him go down? Nobody. That is wild. Unless something went off in the distance and everybody was looking in that direction and they're like, woo! You know what I mean? Party! And then he just goes down. Right in front of everybody. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know. Something very strange is going on. And yeah, liquor is liquor. And it could play a massive role in this. Does that mean other people are going to get hit with some charges here because of the drinking? The underage drinking? We'll see. We will see. But if there's that generalization, I'm just seeing the chat here. If there's like a generalization about black people who don't swim, there's a lot of black people that do swim. Let me just make that abundantly clear. There are plenty of black people that swim. Okay? Like, that's the most ridiculous thing and the most uneducated thing you can say. It's just perpetuating a stereotype. You're just echoing a stereotype. It's like saying, oh, all black people love watermelon and fried chicken. Who doesn't like fried chicken and watermelon? It's delicious. Everybody loves it. Shoot, if you don't like fried chicken, man, if you don't like watermelon, then you ain't got no soul. Is that black too? Because the soul, get it? Soul? Nobody? Okay. But I'm just saying, it's delicious. How dare you? How dare you? Okay. Okay. But there's a lot of black people that, newsflash. This just in, breaking news. black people do know how to swim. Black people do know how to swim. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, you missing out on some, you know? That is a stereotype, okay? That needs to go bye-bye. Okay? All right? Sure, there's still people out here that don't know how to swim, but there's a lot of white people that don't know how to swim too, baby. Come on. Come on. You know? Just so you know. We need to stop. We live in such an integrated world now. All right? We live in such an integrated world. I'm just letting you know. Okay? A lot of people out here that know how to swim, baby. A lot of black people know how to swim. Lot. Okay? And then there's some people that don't. There's some black people that don't know how to swim. But there's also some white people that don't know how to swim too. You know what? Not all white people don't have rhythm. Stop it, Pascal. What you say? Wait, what? What? White people got rhythm? Yeah, white people do have some white people. I'm not saying all white people. There's black people who don't have rhythm too. Snapping on 1 and 3, not 2 and 4. If you know what I'm talking about, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay? That was a musical term. Okay? They're snapping on the 1 and 3s, not on the 2 and 4s. That's a big problem. Okay? But that does exist. You're like, damn, how did you exist on this planet? You ain't got no rhythm. Look at this white boy. He got so much rhythm. Damn. That actually happens. So let's just throw out all these stereotypes for a second here. No, for good. Damn them all. Okay? Because we all, as whatever race that we're in, we are all not part of some sort of monolith, right? Not all white people put raisins in their freaking potato salads, okay? Not all Asians are great at math. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Not all Indian people own a Quickie Mart. Just so you know, okay? Some black people don't know how to play spades. Actually, and some of them don't even know that the game even exists. You understand? Come on now. All right? We gonna be all right. We gonna be all right. Okay? And also, if you really think about it, if white people didn't have rhythm, then how would Metallica be able to have, how would white bands have drummers that are white? If they didn't have rhythm, they wouldn't be able to do the dig. You know what I mean? Think about that for a second. And those bands are white. Those drummers are white. Okay? I'm just saying, man. Spades is dangerous, guys. Some people take it too damn serious. Okay? Some people need to chill, like go somewhere, smoke a little, like just chill. You know? I have seen civil war, okay, over a game of spades. All right? Over a damn game of spades. But all I'm trying to say, okay, is that we're not all a monolith. We all have things that we love that may go against the grain. We may be, all of us may go against the grain of whatever stereotype that we live in, you know what I mean? Or stereotype that our race is in. You know what I'm saying? There are some black people that don't like fried chicken or even watermelon. I'm just saying. So you're going to be pleasantly surprised when you go to a pool and you see a whole bunch of black kids in the pool swimming. You want to know why? You want to know why? Inner cities did not have pools. That was let's just say, a financial privilege, for lack of a better term. So if you lived out in the suburbs, if you lived in the white neighborhoods, pools, those the county pools and stuff existed out there. Inner cities schools did not, or inner cities did not have pools that you could just go jump in any good old day. Hence the reason why black kids, black people did not swim, nor did they learn how to swim. But times have changed. Oh, the times, they are changing. Okay? And now you got all kinds of people learning how to swim of all economic status. But back in the day, it was a sign of financial freedom, financial privilege, for lack of a better term. Okay? Just so you know. Now, everyone learns how to swim and should learn how to swim, or at least know how to just tread water. It should be more of a rite of passage, like a skill on, I don't know. What's another thing that we learn as kids? Oh, to read. That's kind of important. You know what I mean? So again, like I said, we can't just sit there, and I agree, T, we can't just generalize all cultures when we now live in a new world, completely different world. Just saying. Regis said, black folk tell me I'm too white to be black, LOL. And see that, yeah, I mean, I could see the laughter. I could see the funny of it. You know what I mean? I think I missed a super chat too. Did I miss one? Yes. Thank you, beautiful messy ball. Let me grab this one too before it disappears. We also don't all put cranberries in mac and cheese. Yeah. Woo! Oh my God. Oh, whoops. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah. Don't put cranberries in the mac and cheese. Don't you damn dare. Don't you damn dare. Don't you damn dare put cranberries in mac and cheese. One day I'm going to have to revisit that Thanksgiving experience I had. It was terrible. All right? We're going to have to relive that. But, when you say, about the, black folk tell me I'm too white to be black, that's, that breaks my heart a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm sure they're saying it in jest and all that as well. But at the same time, it's like, can't you just be yourself? You know what I mean? I gotta be me. You know what I'm saying? Just be me. Be yourself. Yeah, I almost ended the show on accident. I'm about to end the show. We ain't gonna. We talked enough, okay? But now you guys got me talking about this mother-loving racial stereotypes and the stigmas attached to these racial stereotypes. It's appalling that it still exists. You know what I'm saying? But we need to be better as a people and realize that we are all different. Not all black people listen to just hip hop. Like rap. I don't even think they say hip hop anymore. I think hip hop's dead. Oh, it's sad. But you know what I'm saying? Shoot, I like listening to classical music to just calm down. I gotta be me. You know what I'm saying? Be yourself. Be your damn self. And black people learn how to swim. All black people learn how to swim. If you haven't learned how to swim yet, go ahead and learn how to swim. Shock every mother lover out there. Be out there in the pool and they're like, oh, snap. I thought he was going to sink to the bottom. Oh, my word, because he's black. But he knows that he's quite a beautiful swimmer. Oh, my God. Come on. Go against the grain. Be that person that shakes off the stigmas of these stereotypes that are bestowed upon our race, dag nabbit. Okay? You going splish splash, I was taking a bath. Okay? Yeah, rubber dub dub all up in the in the pool. That was. But you know what I'm talking about. Splish splash, baby. Splish, splishy splashy. That racism. That should be a t-shirt. You know? Nobody? Splishy splashy, that racism. Yep. Yeah, I'm going to stop while I'm ahead. All right? And white people, come on. No raisins. Please no raisins. Please no raisins. And please no cherries in mac and cheese. Just don't do that. Just don't do that. And hey, sugar, oh, honey. Hey, if you can only float, that's good. Actually, Pennywise would really like you. Because they all float down here. You know what I'm saying? Hiya, Georgie. We all float. You know? Okay, I'm done. It's Friday. I'm done. Go check out the movie Odyssey this weekend. It's 3 hours long, so get ready. Wear some comfortable clothes, all right? Take a good piss break way before you walk into that theater, all right? Get some good snacks and chill. Yeah, somebody put cherries in a mother-loving mac and cheese, and it hurt my heart. It hurt so bad. Oh, I'm sorry, I meant cranberries. Cranberries. Not cherries, cranberries. I'm sorry. Brain. Stop. Cranberries. It still hurts my heart. It still hurts my heart, man. Okay? Don't you dare. Cranberries, they cool, you know what I'm saying, on the side. But don't you dare put them in mac and cheese and think, ooh, I'm being festive. Stop. Marie, thank you so much for the love. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. I was once told by a black man that I don't have the right to call myself black because I am not dark enough. The fuck? As a teenager, I went through a phase during which I would darken my skin to be more accepted by black people. Oh my Lord, Marie. Oh my Lord, is not out of judgment. I'm sorry. That was not out of judgment. I like, my heart hurts for you. I'm really sorry. Whether you are light-skinned or dark-skinned, you are beautiful. And trying to that's the first time I've ever heard someone trying to darken their skin to be more accepted than what I'm used to hearing, which is I'm trying to lighten my skin to be more, you see what I'm saying? Because that now we're going into colorism and all that, and I don't want to, that's going to be a whole other hour-long show. But you are beautiful. Your skin is beautiful. That is really sad. But here's the other thing too, though. There's a lot of people that darken their skin right around this time, right? Or even year-round. Even Trump does it too. He does. Just so that they look, prettier. Or in his case, he has the tan, so he looks like he just came back from a vacation. That's what he used to do. That's why he would do it back in the 80s, because it would look like he just came back from, I was just in Fiji. You know what I mean? But as far as you're not black enough because you're light skinned, that's not right. That's not right. And I'm sure, Marie, that you have come to your senses since then, of course, and realized that the color of your skin is beautiful, no matter how light or dark-skinned you are. But that does break my heart because people are ignorant. People are really ignorant, Marie, aren't they? They can be. But I will tell you, you are not alone. There's a lot of people that do that every day just so that they're a little bit more attractive and all that. So I appreciate you sharing that with me. But I will say this, doesn't matter how light-skinned you are still black. Oh, that sounded weird. And black is beautiful. Let me finish that. Because that sounded like you were still black. Like, no, I mean, like you are still black. You are still a beautiful black woman. Regardless where on the color spectrum of blackness you are, as far as tone, color tone, skin tone, I mean, right? So that does break my heart. But I'm glad you're on the other side of it and you're able to talk about it, you know? That's great, Marie. Of course, I'm 53. I'm over that and comfy in my own skin. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. But yes, yeah, SoCal. They'll do the same thing in the bodybuilding world. They'll tan themselves up, darken their skin so they can show more striations and more of their cut, their physique, blah, 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 you know? So, again, just don't do cranberries, okay? Just don't do cranberries and mac and cheese. And most definitely don't do raisins. Please stop doing the raisins. Stop doing the raisins. Okay? Just stop. I don't get it. Just stop it. Do yourself a favor and just stop. Worst mac and cheese I've ever had in the history of my entire life. And I've had some really bad mac and cheese in my life. Okay? I've had some really bad mac and cheese in my life. Okay? Like, we've all had a bad slice of pizza, but we still ate it. And it was like, well, it's pizza. This one was like, you ate the thing and you still had like this, you know, it stayed with me. Clearly, I have PTSD over it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about. You've had a really bad slice of pizza, right? But it's still a slice of pizza, so you still eat it. You muscle through it. Sometimes you got to gnaw on that mug. Sometimes you got to like stick the crust in your mouth and let it like kind of soften in your mouth before you can take a bite. It's that bad, but you still eat it. You're like, well, I ate that slice of pizza, dag nabbit, right? But you move on and you eat other pieces and slices of pizza in life, and you don't look back at those slices of pizza with remorse and anger. This mac and cheese, no, this had a lasting experience. This had a lasting impression on me, man. Like I said, PTSD. And I've had great mac and cheese since then, okay? Don't worry. It's not like that was the last one I ever had, all right? But still, it still had a lasting impression where I'm like, how on God's green earth, how in God's green earth does somebody wake up one day and say, I'm going to put cranberries in mac and cheese? How? You know what I mean? It puts hate in your heart. You know what? It makes you question God. Okay? Don't you dare do that. Okay? Like, I'd rather be like, the food is so good, you know, Oh, there's an orgasm in my mouth. You know what I mean? It's like that. It should be like that, where you're questioning God. Like, how? Oh my God. It's so good. How is this even possible? How are you able to put cranberries and mac and cheese together? It's so good. But that wasn't it. That wasn't the experience. Do you understand? I was questioning God in another way. How did you create this person that made the mac and cheese with the cranberries? You know what I mean? I'm just saying, don't do it. It made me question why he created that person. That's weird. I feel bad now. Now I'm sad. I'm kidding. I'm not sad, but still, damn. I don't know if she watches my show. She better not watch my show. She'll be like, was that mine? Oh, dear Lord. Yeah. Just saying. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Now look at cranberries different. Okay? Now look at cranberries different. Now when I hear do 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 do, I get freaked out. I'm like, oh my God, is there mac and cheese in here? Where is it? Where is the mac? Are you about to give me a plate of mac and cheese with cranberries in it? What the hell's going on here? You know what I mean? Yeah, traumatized. Absolutely. Traumatized. Anyway, we went off the rails, but thank you so much for letting me share that story. I love you guys. Heart. No cranberries for me for a while. Just so you know. Okay? Hey, we're here to have a little, it's Friday. I'm allowed to have a little bit of fun. Okay? I'm allowed to have a little bit of fun. Damn it. Okay. Well, that is the show, guys. I'm going to be wrapping it up here. Okay? And again, here's the thing. Actually, you know what, Jamie? I have an assumption. But it was kind of like a potluck thing. So I have an assumption of who it could be. I got a list. You know what I'm saying? There's one particular person I feel like it is her. You know what I'm saying? But it was a potluck thing. And I didn't go like out of my way to be like, were you the one? You know what I mean? I didn't do that. You feel me? Yeah, classic. That was PTSD. Why would you do that, man? Why? I don't like cranberry sauce either, man. I don't like cranberry sauce either. I don't sit there and go, ooh, you know, when people get all excited about Thanksgiving, like, ooh, we're going to have, you know, the gravy and the cranberry sauce. Woo, I can't wait. I'm about to be full up in here. Woo, I'm going to eat good tonight. I don't get excited about the cran. That is not even the thing on my list. That is off to the side for somebody else who wants to put that crap on their food. Who puts cranberry sauce on their ish? Pouring it all over the perfectly cooked salted meats. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work for me. You know? Cranberry sauce? So again, like I said, don't do it. Don't you dare do it. Yeah, true. I love cranberry juice. Yes, it's good for your organs. You know, good for the bones. But yeah, you ain't seeing me eating cranberries on the willy-nilly. You see what I'm saying? Just saying. I am forever changed. Yeah, forever changed. Just don't do that, guys. Don't do it. And learn how to swim. Even the white people in the chat. Learn how to mother, love, and swim. You'll thank me later. We should all be able to swim in harmony. Think about what MLK said. Yep. He was talking about swimming. Anyway, guys, it's time to get going. I'm kidding. He didn't say that. Anyway, happy Friday to all y'all. Thank you so much for being here. It really means a lot. Thank you so much for tuning in and being part of the conversation. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Hopefully, I was able to make you guys laugh a little bit and smile a little bit, aside from giving you guys some more information and discussion about the craziness that's going on. Okay? But please do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Crush it, do it, do. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on these other platforms. If you are watching on these other platforms, like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, Twitch, Kick. I'm on all of them, so make sure. Yeah, I am wrong. I'm wrong. I'm very wrong. But make sure you hit that follow button on all of them, because I'm on all them mugs. Make sure you do that. Hit that subscribe button right here on my YouTube channel. Crush it, do what it do. Please go over to my second channel. I need to cut these funny moments out and put them on the second channel, damn it. I don't do it, but I need to. You know what I'm saying? Maybe one of y'all will enjoy them. I'll put them on the second channel, okay? Go to my second channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Subscribe over there. Hit the notification bell on both platforms so you know whenever I go live, whenever I go. Whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because honestly, it is random, and it's a lot of times when something's breaking. So make sure you have those notification bells set to all. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out that Patreon, please. It's right there. On the bottom. Going across the bottom of the screen right now. Check it out. Become a patron. And of course, check out PascalMerch.com. PascalMerch.com. We got some really great stuff over there. Now I need a t-shirt that just says no cranberries and splishy splashy stereotypes. I don't know. We're gonna figure something out. We're gonna figure something out. But anyway, check it out. PascalMerch.com. Make sure you do that. Anyway, it is time to get going. Enjoy your weekend. I hope it's a wonderful one and you get to laugh a lot this weekend. Please make sure you do that, because you deserve it. All right? Anyway, it's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another.